Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to my listener. I'm Juan Hakim Michael Besukarti, representative from Group 4. So today I would like to share our finding and our report about our assignment, which is topic 1, frame. There are various type of frame construction that have been employed in the construction of building actually. So they're divided into two, which is rigid frame, brace frame structure. Frame structure can be made of various type of material, which includes reinforced concrete, steel, woods, and much more. A frame structure is a construction that resists lateral and gravitational loads by combining beam, column, and slabs. These structures are commonly employed to resist enormous moment from applied load. So the most common frame that you use in our daily life in industrial building or much more building, rigid frame and brace frame. Rigid frame system, also known as moment frame system, are made up of linear systems such as beams and columns. So the term rigid refer to the ability to resist deformation. So deformation can be defined as a deformation of a building which the building cannot stand on its own. So rigid frame are defined by the absence of pin joint and are often statically indeterminate. So the bending of beam, column in a rigid frame can resist both vertical and lateral loads. The joint must be constructed to have a sufficient strength and rigidity as well as a minimal deformation. We move into the next one, which is brace frame. A brace frame is a well-designed structure that can endure wind and seismic effects. So this type of frame usually can be constructed at the most common natural disaster in the country. So like for example, like the USA, which have hurricane, Japanese, which have the earthquake and tsunami. So this type of frame is more effective to build in their country, which can resist this type of natural disaster actually. So pin connection are used to link beam and column. So however, they do not transfer moment. Both horizontal and vertical bracing are used to provide lateral force resistance. So knee bracing, diagonal bracing, X bracing, K or chevron bracing, and shear wall that resist lateral stress in the wall plane are only a few examples. As you can see behind me, there are a few examples, which is the diagonal and knee bracing brace structure. So we move to the next one, which is the stage of construction of a brace frame for industrial building. So building height can affect the stability of a structure. So when a bracing system are built, the building height can also give effect to the stability. With well-designed street construction, building of less than 8 stories can deem stable. For stability, taller building require concrete or brace steel core. Building designers bear a significant amount of responsibility for designing a good bracing, and contractor must subsequently guarantee that the bracing system is installed correctly. If the bracing plan is incorrect, the building may be left without appropriate bracing members, putting the structure at risk actually. So by calculating the drift associated with the wind velocity and the corresponding bracing layout, software such as GIB, Easy Brace, bracing software with ArcaCAD is used to determine how many bracing panels are required and where they should be placed, with the ultimate goal of developing a system that provides minimal lateral drift in an efficient manner. So this type of calculation were done by engineers, architects, and much more. So many many Western organizations use the architectural CAD outsourcing services of a dedicated offshore CAD team for cost-effective, precise, and timely development of bracing plan, ensuring the structure can be a good structure that can stable, that can resist lateral force, that can resist natural disaster. So, as per Cool Deep Whale, you can see the stages of construction table behind me. So, for the first one, select the right beam section size, select the right column section size. So, the third one, calculate the HF, which is the equivalent horizontal force for each floor. So the next one, determine the total shear of bracing base. The next, share shear appropriately between the bracing system. So next, ensure the size of bracing member which are suitable for the building. In addition, determine the frame stability, combination of EHF and width load and vertical loads. Ensure the effectiveness of floor diagram, distributing force to bracing system. Determine total force the bracing should resist locally. Ensure that each floor bracing can handle force on an individual floor and force of external floor. So with this step, all of the bracing system can be a good building that the system can resist lateral force. So the structure cannot deformation before anything. So thank you, and we move to the next topics.
Hello, my name is Siti Norzana binti Rosli and want to share about the advantage and disadvantage between rigid frame and brace frame. There are many advantages of rigid frame. For the example, in modern use, rigid frame was very popular for construction because of the value in rigid frame. However, it is not commonly screwed to put anything straightforwardly. Against, the divider is a curved space, so that degrees the surface region too. The angle style also provides less accessibility area in both headspace, so it is not commonly astute to put anything straightforwardly. Secondly, rigid frame has their own durability. For example, the inflexible outlining is quite often the decision considering solidness. It is because the structure can area of strength for endure and whitey heaps of snow, also settling on the favor decision for any area. Last but not least, adaptability also some advantage of rigid frame. It is because rigid casing structure offer up to 300 feet of clearance space, so it's totally section free inside. Furthermore, the implies is the main decision for structures bigger than that, which is essentially cannot be constructed utilizing the angle style. For your information, in all honesty, the main significant current disadvantage of rigid frame building development is cost. It is because the cost per square foot is essentially higher than for curved style, which is appeared to be legit. Other than that, range of lengths are generally confined to 40 feet when ordinary supported concrete. In any case, the range more prominent than that, so it's cause horizontal redirection. Brace frame also has their own advantage, like it offers the brace and seismic power more than the non-proper structure. It is because they have more columns and beam to support the frame become stronger. Secondly, brace frame is savvy. Also, the frame is very simple to raise and adaptable to construction plan to get required strength and firmness. This is said because the design of frame is very flexible to use in construction. Thirdly, the bracing framework are utilized to oppose the clasping of the principal pillar in the design of brace frame. Thirdly, the bracing frameworks are utilized to oppose the clasping of the principal pillar in the design of brace frame. However, it is also made sure the vertical loads between the main beam was equal to appropriate the lateral load. Last but not least, the degrees in parallel removal is one of the significant benefits of utilizing supporting framework. It is because the brace frame is very good to use in structure of construction. Thus, the brace frame also have their disadvantage. For the example, the length of the range of the design is limited up to 40 feet when support. So, it is very difficult for construction, build and framework. It is because the design is so high. Secondly, when they build this brace frame, the development of the supporting framework need to require the gifted workmanship. It is because need the people who has the skill of build brace frame because of the detailing frame.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hazwani Atira binti Muhammad Khamis, and today I am going to present about the cladding system. The cladding system consists of two components, which is a wall system, for example, light wood frame, and a lining layer. A cladding is a skin or load-bearing layer that is attached to the outside of a wall. Its main role is to protect building from air and weather effects. The second role is to protect building from sound, fire resistance, and thermal insulations. Your choice of cladding has little impact on your environmental performance, cost, aesthetic appeal, and property value. Wall cladding means the exterior of the building is covered with panel of different material covering. Certain system panel are used to maintain the structure, frame, and exterior wall of a building. The panel are placed on top of other material used in the installations. The system also include a cladding system and is a subset of the composite the current building. A different cladding system will be used for a different building or project. Any architectural challenge can be selected using a suitable cladding system. Cladding system function is to protect the exterior and frame of the building. The cladding system also indirectly protect the interior of an architectural building. Apart from the security provided by the cladding system, it also has the ability to increase the aesthetic appeal of the building or construction. With so many material, colors, and options to choose from, the cladding system has become quite appealing to architects. Architect is constantly changing the shape of the panel to get a more modern and minimalist look. By selecting for high quality cladding system material for high or exposure, you can achieve the best possible physically and aesthetic result. In a situation when the outer envelope of the building does not need to be fully sealed, for example, in the inner veranda. A highly breathable cladding can be advantage. A very different approach is needed in areas or altitudes with high exposure to sun, wind, and rain. There are a few materials used in the cladding system, such as brick cladding, stone cladding, aluminum cladding, steel cladding, glass cladding, vinyl cladding, and fiber cement cladding. Next is the processes that involve in the construction of cladding system. There are a few steps that involve in this construction. Firstly is put a layer of coating to one or both sides of the frame. Next is roll bonding. After that, lavish weighting, and the last one is laser cladding. That's all from me. Thank you.